Check, check, check. That seems like there might be sound now. It's just that my screen is so gross. Well, here we are, back again. Sorry for the delay. It is August 20th. This is our back to school special for any last minute questions before we come back on Monday, the 23rd. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. My computer did some updates overnight, and now my microphone options are not what they used to be. So I'll be sorting that. One more reason that we're probably going to go back to Facebook. All righty. So good morning. Thank you for being here. This is our back to school special. So if you have any questions about Monday that we haven't covered or that remain unclear, please go ahead and let us know. I'm going to check the Google form really quickly. And then let's see. We did this on Wednesday, which was the 18th. I think I've answered most of these. So yeah, here we go. This is a good question. We mentioned that bus riders who arrive before 7 would need to wait outside. If the school as a whole isn't practicing social distancing, why could they not wait in the cafeteria or common area while masked? What if there are storms? Yes, there's a lot of questions there. I don't have good answers for that. I know part of it is just having adults to supervise. But I will certainly ask the admin team that question. It's a good one. Sorry, I'm going to keep looking up at the camera, but I have to remember that the camera is actually right in front of me today. What time can students be dropped off in the morning before the first bell? Right now, I'm going to say anytime after 7, before 7 and 7:25. What precautions are being taken to keep kids safe during lunch? Thanks. Yeah, we just got some more information about that yesterday. So all of the lunch procedures are sort of in flux right now to make sure that we can do that. I think, the goal is to limit. I think the short answer, what precautions are being taken, is to ensure that we don't just take a bunch of kids and mix them up together in the cafeteria, trying to keep kids sort of in the limited settings that they're in terms of we know that they're in these 4 classes. And if they only go to those 4 classes, then that's a contained area and they don't then get exposed to potentially a much larger web of exposure in the cafeteria. Because I just logistically think about the cafeteria. It's hard to fit students in there. If we didn't have off-campus lunch for juniors and seniors, we wouldn't be able to fit our 3 lunches in there. Assigning lunches works a little easier at elementary and middle school. There is some protocol for going to lunch with your class, and that's just not the way it works at high school, considering the number of classes we have come to lunch at the same time. So we are actively revamping that. That's going to be a lot of work today. And students, the bottom line is students will go to 3rd period on Monday and we'll have lunch details sorted out for them at that time. What if my child will be late or needs to be picked up early for an appointment or is sick? Is there a central number or email to contact? Yes, absolutely. Do we have to let all teachers know? Not. We'll talk about that in a minute. Do we need to check out the front office before leaving? Okay, so if you're late, we recommend checking your student in with your student. It's a lot easier for us if parents come to the window to check them in. Down there at guest services in the front of the building, it's not a problem. In order for it to be considered excused, we do need documentation of that. So a doctor's note or an orthodontist's appointment. If they're sick, they shouldn't be late. If they're sick, they should stay home. If they need to be picked up early for an appointment, you can write a note and your student can actually go to guest services before school starts and get a note that allows them to leave class at that time. Otherwise, you would need to call and check them out formally. We will then call them out of class and they will come check out in guest services with Ms. Cooper. And the central number to call, 919-850-8787. Or if you just need to talk about documentation for arriving late or being picked up early, you can email Ms. Cooper at gcooper1@wcpss.net. That's G Cooper and the number 1. We arrived to the walkthrough at 4 and there were no maps left. Can parents request a map be sent via email? I can ask. The district really dislikes us handing out a lot of maps. It becomes a school safety issue if the layout of the school gets out there. I will, if you'll shoot me an email, cpatten2@wcpss.net. I can ask some questions and then I'll have an answer when you email me about me sending you a copy of a map. How can we access the syllabus if we missed one accidentally yesterday? We're going to ask all teachers to put all of their syllabuses in their Canvas course. Again, all teachers at Millbrook this year are using a Canvas course, and you should notice a theme when your students start looking through their Canvas courses. We've asked all teachers to use a very specific template. It's not full of bells and whistles. It's pretty dialed down, but the goal was, this is how I explained it to teachers, and I think maybe the best way to explain it to all you guys is, have you ever tried to find the settings on somebody else's phone and you just kind of swipe back and forth and you're like, why does this not make any sense at all? We know that you and your students had that experience going from one Canvas to Google Classroom to Canvas last year. So this year we've tried to streamline the experience so you can find that. So all of your teachers' syllabuses should be linked from the syllabus button in their Canvas webpage, in their Canvas course, and you should see the template when you log in. Their homepage should be set to that. Do ninth graders get to change for gym, or do they have to wear their gym clothes to school all day? Ooh, I don't know what the updated guidance on that is. Let me find out. That is a good one. Sorry, takes a minute, but it's worth it if we get answers. Are students changing for... All righty, we will work on getting that answer. Do the ninth grade, we just did that one. When and how will Chromebooks be issued? That's my life. As soon as we're done with this today is the Chromebook distribution plan. Literally on my board, it just says Chromebooks in giant letters. The bottom line for you guys is that we're going to distribute them during students' classes. We're working on a plan to just have a department. Everybody in the department will bring their kids through the media center over the first week of school to provide, and that'll give students a chance to check out a Chromebook. Again, eligibility guidelines are pretty specific. If your student has never had a device issued by Wake County, then you are eligible to get a new one right off the bat. If you have a Wake County Chromebook, but it's an HP model Chromebook, you can swap that out. If you have a Lenovo 300E, which again is the black textured Chromebook with metal hinges, then that says WCPS on the top of it, then you actually have the most updated version. Back to the dressing out question. It's no, not dressing out. Everything is posted on Canvas announcements in terms of wearing athletic attire every day to be helpful with healthful living. So again, that answer about gym is the recommendations from the healthful living teachers are posted in their Canvas courses, but we will not be changing. How do the students get access to Canvas? They should have automatic access through their Wake ID portal. If your student doesn't have access to their Wake ID portal, go ahead and email the student's counselor and administrator, and we can get that set up, and then they'll have an automatic link out to Canvas. At the walkthrough, I noticed cats on time signs on classroom doors about tardiness. Can you explain about the hall pass and how all of that works? Absolutely. So CATS Camp is how we manage tardies here in the building. I have worked at schools in the past where the tardy system is when the tardy bell rings, you close and lock the doors, and then teachers and administrators take every kid who's left and put them in one place. At that school, we used to call it the fishbowl. And then like two people slowly wrote passes back to classrooms and like wrote a referral so we could track that. That keeps kids out of class a long time, and it's really disruptive to classes. So a couple years ago, there's a whole team. Coach East and Miss Jones are still involved in that planning. Dale Midget was involved in the initial planning when she was still in the classroom. So some of the tried and true Millbrook minds have their hands on this. And basically, if the tardy bell is done ringing and the student's not in the room, the teacher's going to close doors. And instead of having to go to one central location, we have basically tardy stations. We call them Cats on Time stations all around the building. Students will go to the closest one, and they'll get a tardy pass, which allows them to very quickly go back to their room. We have 11 tardy or Cats on Time stations, which allows us to, each station's doing 3 to 4 students. Sometimes we have CAT stations where the line is 12 and 13. And we understand that some students, they're going to be tardy here and there. Most of the time, it's not a big deal. Students get sort of 3 tardies for free before there's any kind of consequence for not being where you're supposed to be. Other than that, we ask teachers not to let students in or out of the classroom in the first or last 15 minutes of class. And then from there, we do have standalone vinyl bathroom passes so that the bathroom passes can easily be cleaned. And students take those and hang them outside of the bathroom because we used to have bathroom capacity. I don't know if we still do, but bathrooms are assigned by sort of area of the school. We don't want somebody taking a bathroom pass from the 3rd floor and going to hang out in the 100 building. So each bathroom pass attaches to 2, sometimes 3 bathrooms in case one of them is closed for being cleaned or maintenance or something like that. We always want students to have access to that. But in general, if a student needs to go somewhere, a teacher will write them a blue hall pass to go where they need to get. Awesome. For students coming in from a magnet school, how do they get a WCPSS email address? They probably already have one. They might just not have gotten it to them. So if you can email me or their counselor or administrator, we can look all that information up for you. That's not a problem. They're auto-generated once you get all the enrollment paperwork put in. So there's that. I'm now going back. That was everything on the Google Doc. So I'm going to hop back in the chat now. Sorry about the sound early. I know that was frustrating. If your son is taking CCP classes and have to leave early, do they check out? They know, Ms. Irwin, he'll just have a pass. They'll literally eventually, like in the first couple of weeks. Until then, we tell all the career and college promise students to keep a paper copy of their schedule with them. When they leave, basically they get stuck in the line with students who are leaving for off-campus lunch. And so they just show us their schedule where we see the CCP classes and we know to let them go. They do not need to check out with Ms. Cooper every day. That's a great question. When will Canvas be populated? In most cases, it should be populated now. What I will say is schedules are moving and Canvas populates based on Power School every night at midnight. So if your schedule's close, you can go ahead and hop in. If you're still waiting on a change, maybe wait. But you should be able to see Canvas now. Chromebook Pickup, we went over. Your students will get it during the first week of school, but it'll probably take all week for us to get those to kids. If there are forms to complete for the Chromebook, there is a paper that we will send home with students who get a Chromebook for parents and students to sign and return to the Media Center. Yes, absolutely. Has no Canvas classes. Well, we can look, Ms. Wallace, if you want to send me an email, I'm happy to look at that a little bit. All righty. I've only been here for 14 minutes. I've been just chatting away. Does anybody have any other questions? If you do, go ahead and throw them in the chat. If you are watching this after the fact, which last night at Walkthrough, first of all, shout out to everybody who I met at Walkthrough who was like, oh my gosh, I watch your videos. a couple notes on that. One, thank you. Everybody here now and who watches this later, everybody has said, oh, it's so great. And we appreciate that. But there's two things that are really important for me to say. One is you guys asking questions helps us center where our gaps are. When we start seeing a theme in questions, it really helps us get that detail ironed out. The other piece of the puzzle is I'm just the one that says all the words, but everything we talk about is the work of our whole team here, admin and beyond. We got a lot of athletics questions that I have to get from Dwayne Flowers and Coach East. It's easy for me to be the guy that's here, but I'm never the one with most of the answers. Miss Wilson has been going over and over as the district updates information about lunches and field trips and fundraisers. She's got training for staff on that today. Miss Sanchez is doing all the senior class stuff. Miss Midget is somehow still alive despite the just piles and piles and piles of work and email that she's getting right now. Mr. Ship is trying to solve all of the facilities problems for teachers and parking requests for students and manage all the COVID expectations across the building. Our whole team spends a lot of time trying to solve these things. So thank you guys for being here. I think I saw a question mark. I think the previous question was, how does somebody get a Chromebook who hasn't had one in the past? Yeah, so let me be more specific. That's an excellent clarification. In the past, last year, we didn't have enough Chromebooks for everybody. So we had to tell people, you can only ask for a Chromebook if you absolutely need one. And there was a time early on when it's like we were trying to sort out okay, this family already has one, so they got to share it. And then over the course of last year, every student who needed one got one. Now, the district is formally working to move towards a one-to-one device situation. So you do not need to request one anymore. We are going to take every student through the media center next week, and any student that's eligible for a Chromebook will be offered one. They don't have to take it, but the district has purchased one for every student who might need one or who is in class. So excellent clarification. Thank you. I'm so dug in on it. I don't see the bigger question in that. So I appreciate that. I'm going to check the Google form one more time. Nope, we're all caught up there. So again, it was great getting to meet a bunch of you last night. If you need anything, counselors and administrators are all in their email all the time right now. Let us know. We look forward to seeing everybody on Monday. Stay safe. Wash hands, wear a mask mandate in place for the county now. Will Chromebooks be offered later if a personal device fails? Yeah, probably. But at that rate, you might just consider going ahead and picking it up and just using the school one and having the other one at home. We do not have places on campus for students to keep a Chromebook here in case they need it. So, it's the kind of thing where if you want to use your personal one, that's fine. But I recommended to several parents last night, might as well get the Wake County one. If you want to use your personal computer at home because it's easier, it's got a bigger keyboard or whatever, do it. But then you don't have to bring your personal computer into the building. All really great questions. If you guys need anything, email your team. We're here for you. We'll see everybody next week. Have a great weekend. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. It looks like it's supposed to, never mind. It's not supposed to rain all day. I thought it was going to rain all day. Maybe it's not. Ooh, do they have to check Canvas every day to know how to dress? I don't know the answer to that. What I got was all the information you need to know about how to dress is in Canvas. So I would check there. And if you still have that question, go ahead and email your student's Healthful Living teacher, and they'll be able to knock that question out real quick. Awesome. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to go figure out how to get Chromebooks in hands. We'll see you soon.